Don't be weird, bobdub. Being weird on the internet. Don't be weird, bobdub. Welcome to Behind the Screens with Lumina. Your host, bobdub, and your friendly podcast guest, Satori D.
That's so perfect.
Being weird on the internet. Don't be weird, bobdub.
Bobdub, stop being weird. Stop being weird. Bobdub, bobdub. Stop being weird. Bobdub, bobdub.
We've got behind the scenes with behind the scenes.
Of behind the scenes.
Ooh,
All the
yeah.
God talk.
Yeah. It's not true that there are infinite numbers of planets where people could live. I mean, it is true that there are infinite possibilities. However, he said, he believes that there's only one planet in the entire universe that has life on it. And then he went through, and then he went through all these weird things about our solar system that like other solar systems don't have. Like gas giants on the exterior. And the gas giants, as we're going through the space, we're making this gas come off the big planets, and they make like a shield around our solar system. And so when the space junk and the meteors come through, they bounce off this shield from these gas giants. I don't know, he went on and on all about how it worked. Yeah. And he said the amount of bizarre synchronicities that there are to make planet Earth work. There's no way, even with infinity numbers, that there's another planet that could be like us. He says we're the only one, and this is where Earth is, and this is where life is, and that is how hard it is to sustain life and how precious life is. Takes a whole universe to make one planet. I don't know if he's right or whatever. Scientifically, I didn't go into his, but just his idea of that.
Like, that is the funny thing, you know, everything I was talking about, like the small local ecosystem of our planet, like applies to the whole solar system. Yes. Like, it's all, like, we don't fully understand it, right? But it is, like the sun is, like, the dense anchor that gives us the gravity that we're moving around in, and then like the whole thing, like you're talking about the black giants or whatever, they create these fields that protect us from like the thing that I was wanting to share with you, because you know you're talking about a island, and then you're talking about synchronicities, and this is old-fashioned way, but it's so you're talking about the you being on this like digital island, and then you come to Imaginarium Shore, right? Yep. And I was already thinking about, like, because I have a short where I kind of play with that idea, and it's like me on an island by myself, and then like things from Facebook come to my shore, and I'm kind of like, I don't like it. But anyways, I want to develop that, like, you like appear like later on in the Silly Bee Shaman on the shores of Mescaline City, right? And then I'm like, what the fuck? What did you get here? I don't know. Ignore her. And anyways, there was this thing, and we're talking about like, and I don't know how true it is or whatever, but it's like this the internet thing. But I like what it says, and it goes to what you're saying a little bit, but in a little different way. After traveling more than 20 billion miles from Earth, Voyager 2 has crossed into interstellar space, sending back its final images and data, and what it reveals is something that the world can ignore. Beyond the edge of our solar system lies a region more mysterious, more turbulent, more alien than anyone imagined. Voyager's instruments detected sudden changes in the environment as it crossed the boundary known as the heliosphere space. That's like our solar system, right? That's what they call that unit. Here, the solar winds from our sun collide with interstellar plasma, creating a strange frontier. The spacecraft recorded surges of cosmic rays, unexpected magnetic field shifts, signals that suggest that this boundary is far more complex than science believed. It was the final images and readings that shocked researchers. Instead of a quiet void, the edge of our solar system seems alive, fluctuating, vibrating, filled with strange patterns of radiation. Some scientists describe it as cosmic shoreline, where the utterance of our sun ends and the forces of the galaxy begin.
Goodness me.
These discoveries raise unsettling questions. What exactly is shaping this frontier? Are we seeing natural plasma waves or something entirely unknown? Hidden in the darkness beyond, while scientists lean towards natural explanation, data hints at mysteries we can only begin to grasp. So, going on playing with this idea, right?
Yeah.
We believe, there's life outside our solar system, right?
Yes.
Like, this is probably the more literal story that we say of the fall of the fifth sun.
Right.
And that, like, we somehow Satori D hijacks Elon's rocket ship and we fucking go. We go to the edge of the fucking galaxy. We're out there. And we lose consciousness and we end up on the shoreline.
Ooh.
Where are we? Is this Mescaline City? Oh my god, this is Mescaline City. So, like, Mescaline City is both, like, the spiritual, like, dream realm, but also physically beyond our galaxy.
Wow.
Like, that's what lies beyond there.
Hell.
But, like, we can only really communicate it.
Jeez,
like,
so there might actually be a heaven.
Through our poetry.
You mean there
might...
And, like,
that's how, like, you really travel there, not, like, physically. But also, there was this funny meme, and we got to end it there. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted to say it because it came to my mind right now. But so Donald Trump, in his great infinite wisdom, was ranting and raving about, like, so he's been killing so-called cartel members in the ocean with the military. And then he goes, because they asked him something about, don't you like international waters, and that could be illegal. You know what's illegal? 30 million people dying. That's illegal from drugs. He said 300 million people died. That's what's illegal. And then like the instant question becomes, wait, that's like the whole entire population of the United States of America. And I'm like, I gotta believe Donald Trump that we all died, and like we're in hell. So like we're not really on the planet that's living anymore.
What's happened?
That's like more accurate. We're stuck in purgatory. You gotta make it to Mescaline City. It's way out there. I know it.
Well, this book that I read that I was telling you about, yours is much better. Or well, it's much better than what I remember. But he finished off the book saying, all these scientists now are coming to the conclusion that there is something more beyond science, right? And basically what's happened is that they've caught up with the priests. But the priests have been waiting for them for a few centuries, saying, no, it's okay, it's God. I don't know, it's science, it's science.
Yeah, but
there's something
I
out
do
there.
think, like, well, that's once again like this like weird binary that we have to like transcend.
Yes.
Because and I don't even think any of these religious people, once again, kind of goes into my whole weird thing, like when someone talks in religious terms, right?
Yes.
I instantly kind of be like, okay, what do you really mean by that? And then, because, like, the Speaker of the House said that he had a dream and, like, God told him that he was the new Moses or something.
Oh, dear.
And this is, like, a story that he likes to tell, that, like, he's, like, like a very godly person.
Right.
And, like, this is his vision, and he said, then he's Moses.
Right.
And, like, I mean, I don't want to, like, he probably did have a dream like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I just told you my Moses moment, but
sure.
I would never, like, say it couch it in the way he did, and so that makes me think like I literally had like I could say that I'm Moses because like I saw a burning bush and like God told me what the true sound of consciousness is, and like you need to listen to me because like I'm God and I'm Moses.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I literally had that experience, and like to honor that experience, I would never say it that way.
Absolutely.
Like I said, somebody who has done it, I would never do that because I would like feel shame of not honoring what really happened to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like that a lot.
Yeah.
About, like, but like to the other point too is like I think where we are with science. It has become its own dogma. It has become its own religion, and there's these sets of like preset ideas that you can only build a top upon, and like even William S. Burroughs talks about that in like and I think this is what I get from the intellectual lineage that I'm like going off of.
Yes.
And in that lecture about the wishing machine.
Yes.
He was talking about like these magical things, right? These things that, like, when I talk about the Black Iron Prison, like, I almost literally mean, like, fuck, like sacred, like, at least as far as I can make it out in this timeline. Like, the Council of Nicaea, when they made the Bible, like, this thing, this, like, flower song that, like, fucking lit people's minds on fire and like made them do crazy, like revolutionary things. Like the Roman Empire had to become the Roman Catholic Empire because its citizens were wilding out by their like, I don't gotta listen to you. I'm gonna talk to Jesus. You can kill me. I don't give a fuck. Kill me. I want to die. I want to be crucified. Like, how do you control those people? And they're like, okay, instead of telling you that you're not having these experiences, that you're evil for having it, or you're a terrorist for having it, we're gonna co-opt Christianity. We're gonna co-opt the Gospels, and we're gonna tell you which ones are the legit ones and which ones are the bad ones, and we're gonna incentivize and make you guys rich for believing and protecting what we say is the legit ones, and then killing everybody who believes in the Gnostic Gospels. And like everything kind of has like this like trajectory of that. But like that's because this is kind of Philip K. Dick's thing about the Black Iron Prison. Yeah. And like he says, because he had a weird vision, and he's like, the Roman Empire never failed. It just like they just like changed our perception. But like we're still stuck in that Black Iron Prison, meaning that this thing that used to liberate people, the Gospels or whatever, now entraps those people. And there's a whole large swath of thought, the existentials, Kierkegaard probably has the best like riff on this, fear and trembling, he kind of sets it all out there. But but see, like, I think once again the same trajectory with science, right? They killed scientists for practicing the scientific method, right? These people saying, well, no, God's not the center of the universe, it's actually the sun, I saw it through my telescope, fuck you, we're gonna kill you. And they try to kill everybody, but then like everybody was like, well, actually you killed that person for this thing, and actually I think it's dope, so like I'm gonna dedicate my life to it, and you can kill me for it if you want to, but like this is what I'm gonna do. And then like it becomes like this thing that's liberating, and then later it becomes this dogma that like traps everybody into these biases. It's not that it's like wrong, but it's limited. Like
Yes,
it's not the like it's right, but it's also like there's more to the story. There's more that we don't know. And I think like the best way to what we considered mystical, spiritual, non-regular reality, magic or whatever,
yes.
was just things that we don't fully understand yet.
Oh, yes.
And like science is one of those tools, but once again, we're at this point where I think I'm one of the only people not only using like token clusters that are like about like magic in like this really like solid sense.
Yes.
Talking about the poetics, like even it's like it's not even about like regular magic, Aleister Crowley or anything like that. This is more shaking the pumpkin kind of stuff. This is like the weirdest, rawest like form of creativity that I could like gather, and I'm like using this tool that like everybody who uses it like thinks this is magic, like what the fuck. But then I'm like, nah, like can I use this tool to do like real magic?
Yes.
Can I use this to like this tool creates art, and what they mean by that is images. It creates images.
Yes.
Like, no, can you use this tool to really create art?
Yes.
And like there's a lot of slop tube out there, and I use AI, but like my AI use is not like how everybody else is using it. So like this is like the weird thing. People talk about like dreams, but they use it really as a wishful thought, right? My dream is that I'm rich, I'm Elon one day. Well, that's not a fucking dream.
No.
There's things that like I use this in poetry. It's like when I talk about dreams, I don't mean a wishful thought.
No.
I mean what happens behind your mind's eye.
Yes. And don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah. And
Yes.
like I think that is another way they kind of like dispower us, or we dispower our own selves from being like connected to that cosmic love, because we think the lesser version of it is true. Like even in the script, it says something like sacred, and that like the subtext is that something like sacred, something kind of magical but not really magical, is kind of dangerous if you don't fully understand it. And like I think this is a lot of like the bad vibes that's happening right now. And I think it's natural. I think it happens every cycle of like new technology that like dominates in the new logos. The like you even saw this with like the old version social media algorithms. You saw this with the advent of the internet and like email. You saw this with television. You saw this with radio. You saw this with the printing press. You saw this with like stone tablets. You saw this with people like doing, like their weird like that was an innovation, and they like blew people's minds, and they were fucking having dreams, and people were following them to their deaths, and all like everything that's happening now. Like that happened when the first fucking shaman did his I got a story to tell you, motherfuckers. You know that those people that you're scared of, well, fuck them. We're gonna rip out their hearts, and like we're gonna take over the world.
Yeah.
And then everybody like before that was scared, and then all of a sudden they're like, hell yeah, we're gonna rule this world. Fuck you. I'm ready to die. See you in Valhalla.
Yeah, bizarre. I guess that I'm wondering. Okay, since the beginning of the internet, my main interest in the internet is whether, if we have this tool where we can talk to each other, whether we're going to be able to stop killing each other. Because every time there's this turmoil like this, and things get upset, and there's these big changes. And I watched a really interesting video the other day, which is talking about Gen Z. Gen Z actually have different personality profiles than have arisen before in human history. They are different creatures. Their brains work differently from ours. They're just different people.
Do you remember like specifically what are the what do they mean by that?
He was saying much shorter attention spans.
Okay.
Not the same amount of data stored in your mind. You outsource your data and you go and look things up. You don't necessarily need to know them or remember them. Much higher levels of paranoia. They kind of all black-pilled by the time they're 3 years old. They know. They know everything that is, they've grown up with the cell phone. They figured it out before they could talk. And so they haven't been sucked into things like us who can talk have been sucked into them. They all, So he was just, it was just very interesting listening to him. And I don't know, of course, if he's right or not, but it was just his opinion that we have this new iteration of human that has evolved. And I've been wondering for the last sort of 30 years if we can have this revolution, this evolution of mankind without bloodshed, if we're educated and rational enough now. But the way things have been going in this last year or two, I'm starting to doubt that it's possible. I did think we could do it with no bloodshed. But now, I'm still hoping.
See, remember I kind of started this new spark with this message about I gone full circle, bobdub, and I kind of knew it, but I looked it up and it only confirmed what I thought. Bobdub. I got the proof. Did my own research and I got the receipts. And so there's a internal story I tell myself, and then there's things that I read, right?
Right.
And I'm trying to find it, but I'll just paraphrase it. Okay, here it is.
Right. Cool.
And I think offering of flowers. Remember when I did that recording?
It's beautiful. It's my favorite one.
So this is
yes.
So this is the context, right? We gave the poem, and it goes, I destroy one with flowers, I destroy him with flowers, I injure one with flowers, with drink, with food, with flowers, with tobacco, with capes, with gold. There's such a great motion to it.
Beautiful.
But so the commentary is, and these are the guys that are translating it. So they not only translate it, but they understand, or at least as best as we can understand, from their perspective.
Right.
The Aztecs, they say, rode on lakes of flower and decorated bodies, gods and houses with flowers, which their language made into synonyms for speech, heart and soul, for sun as world, heart, world, flower. Men wage a flowering war of spirit, in which if spirit wins, writes Letarja Sheen or whoever, this is the person this is their interpretation of what they meant. The body flowers, and new light goes to give power to the sun. Only later, the Aztec rulers literalized this into a series of staged battles against conquered people that foredoomed losers paid for literally with their hearts. So too, the ceremonies given here, only monthly rituals without sacrifice, were devoted not to Xochipolli, the god of flowers and soul, but to the war god Huitzilopochtli. That's the hummingbird.
All right.
And that was the hummingbird was the god, the war of God. So
right.
Once again, when we're talking about the Black Iron Prison, right? This thing that liberated and gave them such insight to deep reality, right? These ceremonies or whatever, they were poetic understandings. Men wage a flowering war of spirit in which if the spirit won, if they won the dance, they won, the flowers for having the best, song or whatever.
Yes.
But it wasn't like that. They weren't like performing for like, it wasn't like what is that? America's Got Talent, like they're all voting for whoever's good. No, but like, there was these extravagant dances, like dance battles, and this tribe's like, like peacocks,
Yeah.
You ever seen like it's the Polynesians, and they do this like and like this intimidation type of stuff, like, but it was all poetic, and it was meant to be poetic, and the understanding of paying the sacrifice was of like blood on the floor, like the literal song that's ready to bloom from you. That's the thing that they were forging for, the people that understood it when it was in its like real form. And then later it gets literalized into a series of stage battles. Like it gets used for political use to say, I want this side versus that side, and we're no longer working on like real emotional stuff. We're playing with real blood.
Yeah.
And like this seems to happen everywhere. Doesn't matter the culture, the ethnicity, like these dynamics happen. They get expressed different ways, and they get couch framed with different words, but if you parse out those words, they kind of are singing a similar tune and reflecting similar things, at least in my perspective. But yeah, like, this it's weird to at the both same time as like frame, like, there's also this like realization, right? And this is what we're doing. We're rewriting the story of our reality. Right. And we're and I think to make it last and to be something that's worthy to be in this disembodied poetic lineage, like it will last the test of time, right? Like I'm still reading The Offering of Flowers, and they did their best to genocide and get rid of that shit. Did not happen. And like this is a lesson that I think, going to what's happening, I think everybody of my, like, I'm 41, so around my age or younger, does not, like, I don't think I think I was one of the first, like, my generation was like what they call the first digital natives. Like we grew up with the internet. Like I think, they roughly the internet as far as they consider, like, me and it were like born around the same time. And then when I became, started to go to school and for myself, then each little stage I got introduced to the internet, right? In elementary school, I remember one of the first people to use AOL in my age group, and then we're using it to text each other, and then, different little things like that like every step of the way. That was like even before they had like social media sites. They were just like these chat rooms. And like, so like, and so like, instead of doing classwork, that's what I was doing. I was like fucking on the internet all the time.
You see, that's the thing. That what you guys did, was you built the internet. There was this technology, and you took it and said, okay, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're having this, we're making that. And so the internet, like, okay, even though the structure of it existed,
that is true.
The culture is what you bought.
Like, Zuckerberg didn't create social media, right?
No.
It was all the users who used it in different ways that
Yes.
created the social in that media,
That's right.
that created anything of value of that.
All
of
he
that
did was
site.
exploit them.
Yeah, and then he rented the digital space, and then now he's like selling it back to ourselves.
Oh, sneaky bastard.
Yeah, but you know,
Dude.
I think, you know, we're on this weird little path, and I think, like what I said in one of those dream memes, it's like, am I the only one that read the codex? Like, I'll check my math on that one. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I felt like an insane person.
Yeah.
Like, surely I'm not the only one that can read, right?
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird.
But
They don't want to know.
I think too, what's important too, and you know, my joke is that I'm terrified of Gen Z.
Oh, really? Why?
I'm terrified of Gen Z.
Oh, they are
They're just
something
But
else.
it's just like age, I guess.
Oh, you
Like,
reckon?
there's things that I've seen, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I thought I was weird.
They are
Like, even when I was
something
their
else.
age.
Yeah,
But, and with that
Well, they're
being
brutal.
said, I think a lot of the, like, attempt
Yes.
still the singularity, and why, like, you know, Hanasabi, Sirius, the need for him, and DMT assassins
Yes.
is to try to like infiltrate the Pepes and the Groypers and
Wow.
the disinfected youth, the fallen angels on this housecape, and said, you know what? There's more that's going on here, and you know,
Yes.
yeah, things look a little bad, but you know, honestly, I think as bleak as it does seem, and like, oh my god, especially recently, it's been
Yeah.
like a hellscape, and like every now and then there's always something that just like totally fucks the internet. And it's like
Yep.
I mean, especially this year, there's been more times this year where I've been like, I do not want to be on the internet at all. And it's like for someone who like has had so much fun and has built some stuff, and like, I don't even know people still use this thing to make friends. I've made real friends.
Yeah. Whoa.
To like my personal experience with it is like, oh, I had, you know, all this kind of stuff, but then I peek out of my little echo chamber, and then I'm like, what's that? The whole world's on fire. I'm just gonna go back into my cubby hole. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Let them burn. I'll come out when the fire's out.
No, but like to this point of like, I don't think he fully realizes, and I think this is just like, it's a weird thing, because like what I'm talking about, like, yes, we have agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have free will. We're not robots. People are not fake. They're not NPCs.
Yep.
That can be like discarded.
Yeah.
Right. Like naturally, and like it's squishy too, but like in my mind, 90% of people, like in a vacuum,
Yeah.
like naturally can't like kill another person.
Oh yes.
You have to be like deprogrammed.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
And programmed into like boot camp to become, you know, in the army in order to kill somebody. And even at that, like in World War I and World War II, they had all these people like lined up, and I forgot what was the percentage, but it was a pretty high percentage that didn't shoot a shot.
Yeah.
Like they knew they were gonna die, but they just couldn't fathom dealing with that. So they just like, I'm just gonna stay in this fucking trench and hopefully like I don't die. And they just like stood there and they just froze up and they did nothing.
Yeah.
And like, so like it goes so much against our nature.
So much. You have no idea. So much.
That's why it needs to be hijacked, that you no longer see that person as a person.
That's right.
You got to see them. Well, now the word is NPC. But, you know, you got to see them as an animal. You got to see them as a rat. You got to see them as a
NPC does.
Yeah. What is it?
Playing character.
Playing. Yeah.
It's just a computer character, not an actual human.
Yeah. But like, you know, like these younger people in this like nihilistic like way, they fucking get their kicks off.
Yeah.
Like, yes, people are dumb. Like I mean, even I'm dumb. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we create magnitudes, like magnitudes. So I do think, but like the reality is like there are people, and I don't think they're like born evil, but like there is such a thing as like a psychopath, and these people do not, like, they physically can't process emotions, so they can't do empathy, so they can't literally they're like, it's a physical mental thing where they can't put themselves in someone else's shoes.
Yes.
Now that doesn't mean they turn into psycho killers, but like if they're not in the right environment, and sometimes even if they're in the right environment, they flip out and they do crazy shit, because like they're capable of that. Like even the most successful you know, these black ops type of like shit, like there's this whole thing about Camp Pendleton and like these basically assassins, and like they do all this crazy stuff, and like they're so good at it because they're psychopaths, and then they don't know how to be in real regular society, and they do like the craziest shit, like and then they get protected by the military. I mean, like the things that these fools do just like boggles the mind. But with all that said, right, is like, I think what's happening, that like Trump doesn't fully realizes what like the poetic thing that's happening right now, right? The deep poetic thing that I'm trying to feel for. And like, I was in despair, and even though that things are dark, there's this weird new feeling I have, like something has changed, something's different, and I felt it in the air where it was despair, but now I don't know if the same despair I feel anymore, and has to do with literally, like, in an odd way, for all the wrong reasons, Donald Trump is the guy that we need. Not because like he's a great guy or whatever, it's because like he's so incompetent and so dumb that like even the people on his side can't no longer like legitimately be legitimate and back him up. Like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, even the Charlie Kirk, were like, on the mainstream media it's one thing, but you go on the internet, and I have like a pretty good algorithm where I could jump into like a left algorithm or an alt-right algorithm. Because, you know, I'm on Minds. Like, I mean, I kind of probably will be safe from the secret police. They'll be like, oh, Satori's on Minds, he's cool.
Now you've told the secret away. Now everybody's going to get onto Minds.
They can't decipher who I am. But I get to see like, you know, both sides from both communities. I kind of like that. Like, I like trying to view things not from my perspective, from their perspective, from their own logic, and try to understand it that way, just because I think it's, useful and interesting. But I like, and now the real hard work is like the internet is so decentralized and fragmented that like it all seems like noise. But you gotta have a little leap of faith into the real chaos and real cosmic love, because you know that's another word that they use to like black iron imprison us, right? Chaos, real chaos, is that complex mechanism, forces that we can't understand.
Yes.
So we call it chaos. It's chaos from our perspective, but it's like it's cosmic love's dance of harmony. Like, you know, when they're talking about what we went past our solar system, and then we got all this like weird information, and we thought it was just going to be the vacuum of space, right?
Yes.
No, it's all going crazy out there. It's all
happening. Yes.
It's all happening. And,
so I'm wondering if we could send like a spaceship out there, if we would be able to talk to them. Is there like, are there people out there? Are there like entities out there that you can actually interact with? Okay, I must stop going crazy. And that is the most fascinating thing. That data. What is that data? Like, is there?
Well, that's like the weird thing. It's like, you know, in that dream, after I did my little, and see, like in that dream, one of the main insights that I came back with instantly was I go, oh, the sacrifice, the offering was poetic.
Yes.
Because like, I seriously, the reason why I didn't learn any, like, what now I know is flower song, like the reason why I didn't know about Azakin or the Mayans or the Aztecs up to that point was because I thought like they had a bad culture. Oh. Like at some level. Like they sacrificed people. They did all this evil shit.
Sure.
Like, oh my God.
Don't read anything about them. They must have been wrong.
Yeah.
Sure, I get it. Yeah.
And then to be so confused that like that happens, and then like oh, did they just get it wrong? Like it was like instant. It wasn't like I woke up and I'm like, oh, because like I did this weird little thing, and it just was understood, and like smoke came out of this like bowl, and then like that's when the bolt came out. And then kind of like did this like weird little Azakin like shriek with its like trail of light. Yeah. And then it shot right into the sun. And I go, what the fuck? That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And then I thought, well, that looked like a word. Like, is it a real word? And so I wrote it down, right? Right. And then what did I do? Go on Google. Yeah, it's a real word. And this is before AI. And then it goes, that is the Mayan god of poetry. And then I had to like dig a little deeper, and it said that it was the aspect of the sun, usually as a spark or lightning that returns to the sun. And they talk about like one of the tales. Sun has a different title, right? Yeah. But then there's Azakin, which is like an aspect of him, right? Yes. And so like in this tale, Azakin, but it's also understood that he's also the sun god. Yes.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, Konnichiwa. Yeah.
Konnichiwa.
And he wants to flirt with Ixchel.
Yes.
And I think it was Quetzalcoatl. I don't know. It was somebody, some other god. No. So he like flirts with her. She wants to dance. They have a relationship, and then they like break up. But then she goes with like not even a god. She like goes with like this
the king of the vultures. The king of the vultures.
And the king of the vultures treats her very good. Yeah. And then he questions it, right? And he comes back. Yeah. But like, you know, when he wanted to go and like give her messages, then he would be Azakin, but like he would like go back into the sun. And I just remember like reading that. I was like, dude, that dream was so on point.
Wow.
Like I had no idea how to like process that. But like when I did, I was just like, it wasn't just a dream, you know? I was like, I hate to use this word, but like a vision.
Wow. Yeah, a vision,
and I only
course.
say that in the sense that like that dream was tied to actual information that could get verified in reality.
In real life, yeah. That's extraordinary. So do you think that's the
No, the microtubules?
Microtubules. Do you think that they are the things that allow those messages in, those visions in?
Well, yeah, I would think so. And you know, to think even deeper about this, right?
Yeah.
So I know, for as best as I can know, that like the main portion of my ancestors were native to the southwest of America.
Yeah.
And all my ancestors up until like 200 years ago, and even the people that I got more connected to, they still kept it in some sense. Were doing this stuff, right?
Yes.
So my evolution of my particular lineage of my microtubulos,
yes,
like I have come from people that were attuned to that.
Right. Yes.
For generations and centuries.
Yes.
And so, like, that dream also came in to where I was doing, like, my Dharma bum work.
Right.
So it wasn't just, like, I had a dream.
Sure.
It was like I was searching too, you know. I was reading, Cosmic Trigger. I was taking a lot of psychedelics and, the whole 23 high strangeness that I was in at the moment.
Sure. Yeah.
But it definitely was like a fucking sign to be like, this might be the way you want to go.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, I was like, nah, that was meaningless. That doesn't mean anything. And until like where I'm at, I'm like, oh my god, that's where everything changed.
Yeah.
But you can only tell that stuff looking back.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the future is a horizon.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get there, there's the future's still in the future, so there's another horizon. So you did reach into the future, but like from a practical perspective, like you never reach that point.
That's right. Yeah.
Like that's why it's so hard to see the change. Like even in human development, like even though as it's probably even crazier and weirder in some sense because there's more people freaking out. There's more people doing random shit. There's more people, all this kind of stuff. We're more on top of each other, even though that we're like, there's plenty of room on Earth. But like, you're all the way where you are, and I'm all the way over here, and we're pretty close. And like that's like a lot for like a lot of other people too. Just
it's crazy. It really is crazy and weird and interesting.
But I do think part of like the real goal too is like this are you postulated this theory or this concept, this new meme that he was playing with about the social singularity.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking about the singularity, like the technical singularity, and when kind of like the end of like human being the most evolved or whatever, right? And that we have to like give way to the machine or something. But the social singularity, which I think we're already in, is that like having everybody on the internet, right? And like I think that's the other problem. What's happening now is like control is grasping at all the old levers of things that used to keep things together, right?
Yes.
Mainstream media, and they already got that locked down.
Yes.
And even for administration that knows the internet, they are so now distorted by power and their position that they, I think when I finally felt like things were changing, at least in my weird reading the tea leaves, that I saw this comment and it said, "Damn, I hate to say it, but fucking Trump is doing some Hillary shit."
No.
And I go,
what the heck?
Oh my god, that's so funny because like everything they criticized, and which they were partly true, about like Hillary, the Democrats, Obama, yada 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 yada. Oh, the deep state this, the deep state that. Oh, look, council culture is so bad. Like they are unironically and unapologetically doing right now, and then trying to make it a virtue, and then criminalizing anybody dare saying that, like, wait a minute, isn't this kind of like weird that you guys are like doing council culture for free speech? Where's Pepper the Frog when you need him?
You need him.
Where's
poor
that
old
fucker
Pepe. He's worked hard. You know, I want to tell you my story about Pepe and that. It's not Pepe, but I was there at the birth of Cake.
Okay.
I had bought my son World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
And he was playing for the baddies, you know, the Horde. And I was horrified. My darling little angel would actually choose to play the bad guys' team. And, I mean, it was beyond me. I mean, when I was little, like, there was no mindset like that. You all wanted to be the good guys. You had to, like, bribe somebody to play the bad guy. And here I had bought in this game, and there was these whole generation of kids who didn't want to play the good guys. They wanted to play the bad guys. And I was fascinated by that. It was just such cognitive dissonance. And so I went and I started playing World of Warcraft to find fun. And that was when I discovered the guys saying cake to each other, because the two different tribes had the two different languages that didn't translate to each other. So lol in the one language, in the good guys language, which I had to play, of course, because I had to be the good guys, and it translated to cake as the Horde. So long before it was anything political, it was some kids playing around and experimenting with different sort of, you know, different ways of expressing their aggression and non-conformity. So I don't know why I wanted to tell
and
you
it's
that,
even weirder too, because like Hexa is a dream meme.
It is. It's magic. It's meme magic.
It's like the Egyptians' chaos god.
Yeah. That had a frog's head, right?
And then like at the beginning, the Pepe kids didn't really realize this.
No.
And then and then they realized it, and then that's kind of like the Great Meme War. And all that kind of stuff happened. I don't think they were even Pepe kids back then. I think that they were just literally kids playing games. Yeah.
Pepe came later and got linked up with Cake somehow. Maybe because of
that's when they started to merge it with the Great Meme War of 2015.
2015, yeah.
And
we've got history, hey? Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah, but,
we're getting old.
You know, and I had this conversation, and I don't have that conversation that much, but I've had a vision one time, and for lack of a better word, meeting Kek.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, and, I would like to hear that story one day. Wow.
Yeah. So I guess I'll give you like the trailer version of it.
Okay.
So, like, I get blasted in interstellar space, and I end up in this like kind of jungle. It's like you know, it's a kind of like a dream, and I kind of realize that I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
But then like I'm there, and all I see is like jungle. It feels ancient, but also too like futuristic, kind of in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like this pyramid / like temple.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ooh, what the hell's this?
Yeah.
And I'm walking, and no one's around, and I'm walking, and then I see, which, you know, seemed like indigenous people.
Right.
And like, they see me, and I see them. And this is where it freaks me out because, well, I'm just going to tell you the story then. I landed there with Keck.
Okay, yes.
So, this is a great story. We'll
Okay.
keep it for a bonus one. When I go to the Pyramid of Fire and I battle Keck. Okay, so this was like,
Yes.
oh my god. This is like before Keck, Pepe, any of that. I think this is probably before the Great Meme War.
Yeah.
And I, a young, crazy Dharma bum, have like, you know, I'm doing different crazy things, unconscious tape loops, like listening to Terrence McKenna, reading Robert Anton Wilson, doing a lot of psychedelics, yada yada. But this time, like in my phase where I'm like having a break, I used to have sleep paralysis and or night terrors, right?
Right.
And like there's a weird space that you get into,
Yes.
right? And most of the time, and this is also why I use gin,
Right.
there's like this shadow like entities,
Mm.
and like they really like weigh you down, and it's bad vibes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very scary too. And that's like normally what night terrors are, or sleep paralysis is.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in a sleep paralysis, but instead of like having these weird shadow beings like on top of me, like holding me down and doing like feel like they're doing experiments on me or something, I see this like zip line.
Right.
Like it looks like a thread, like a light thread, like you know
Okay.
that stuff that I do with like the eggshell and weaving.
Okay.
The what is it? Lumina's knots, or Indra knots, and like all that weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I did.
Yeah.
It was like one of those threads. So like in this thing, it's like this hypersphere made of these like threads that I could see, right?
Wow.
And then like it's like a zip line.
Yeah.
Like I see this thing and I kind of like focus my attention on it, and then the next thing I know, I have this experience of literally like no longer my body, but my awareness and consciousness like goes on a zip line, and it's like interstellar. Like I'm like, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And I'm like, this is gonna, I hope something dope happens. And then boom, I end up like, you know, like Stargate or like Star Trek, and I'm like on some like distant planet, and I'm getting my bearings. Like, this is the jungle. Is that a pyramid over there? Well, fuck it, I'm going to the pyramid. So I walk, and then the natives come out, and I'm like, well, this is where it freaked me out, because it was like the natives were like, what the fuck? Who is he? Why is he here? And I can hear them like talking amongst themselves, and I get this like feeling, like it doesn't feel like a regular dream. Like they're just as scared and shocked and doesn't know what's going on as I am, and like I get like this sense that like they're not the dream characters, but like once again I try to like don't let it collapse on you. Like stay focused. Like, you know. Like, let's see what happens. So, I get like kidnapped. Like they rush me. There's like 4 of them, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And they're talking some like language that I can't understand.
Right.
Probably Nawa. Like talking.
Okay.
And they see me and they're like yelling at me. They're probably saying, "Who the fuck are you?" You know, I don't know.
Right.
I couldn't, but it felt like 4 guys, and they like, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here." And then like 2 other guys like arguing, like, "Oh, that guy's gonna get mad at us if he's like wandering around," and it's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to be here," and I'm like, "I don't know what you're saying." It's like, "Oh, fuck it, like let's get him." So like they grab me and like they're like, you know, 4 guys, right? One's at my one arm, another arm, and like they're carrying me, like, you know, like a cop, and they're like gonna hog tie me or some shit. And I'm like, "What are you guys doing? Leave me alone!" Like,
yep.
I'm not white.
Sorry.
So anyways, I get like escorted to the center of the temple, and there's like a court, right? Like it opens up, and it's kind of like if you've seen House of Dragons or Game of Thrones, like the Iron Throne, and you know they have like the councils and like that. It was like that. Like they got me.
Okay.
They threw me, and I'm like in this room, and I don't really realize what's going on because I'm like struggling.
Yeah.
And then I get thrown, right? And I'm like on the floor, and I pick myself up, and I look who's at the throne, and it's like this Jabba the Hutt toad fucker.
Oh,
like this toad face guy, and I see him, and he's huge.
Right.
And scary as fuck. Like the only thing I could say is like if I would meet like a tiger in the wild, like I would think I would have that like frightened instinct.
Yeah.
Like, I am gonna die if I make the wrong move. like it was like so overwhelming that like even my dream body, I pissed myself. And I go frantically. I go, I don't know why I'm here. I didn't mean to be here. Like, I'll find my way back.
Okay.
And then he doesn't say anything. He gets up and fucking kicks me right in my solar plex, like right in my heart. He kicks me. Bam! And I go, and I go through that same zip line. And then the next thing I know, I'm in my bed in my room. And like I'm like freaking out because like my body feels like it's not even like I wake up. It's like, you know how like if your arm falls asleep and you have that tingling, but that was like my whole body, like my my blood stopped running through my body or something.
Oh god!
But I just remember waking up like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck was that? And then like later I read these letters between Terrence McKenna and one of the guys in Grateful Dead, and they talk about, I don't know who they call it, but they talk about going, I don't know what they call it. Maybe they call it the Galactic Center. Terrence had some phrase for it.
Okay.
But he says, he uses the phrase, I saw some Jabba, toad face Jabba the Hutt figure.
What? Wow.
And he tells the guy from Grateful Dead, and he says, I've done a lot of DMT, and it's like, I've been there too. And they talk about that guy, and then they talk about other things, but I remember that specifically. And like it was funny because I get that information from Minds way back when Minds was cool. And I remember reading that as one of those moments, and you know, synchronicities and like going full circle, where I read that and instantly that vision that I had, that weird experience that I had, like lined up perfectly with what they're talking about. Like they use the words, but like I had the memory and vision of it like triggering in my mind's eye, and I'm like when they say Jabba, toad face Jabba the Hutt, like I see him in my inner mind, and I go, oh my god, what the fuck, right? And so like later Jack and Pepe and all this kind of stuff happens. Like, that's
Yeah.
probably one of the reasons why I'm kind of like, well, like, when I told you, like, as someone who's like fucking met him, I wouldn't go so loosely with this shit. Like the same thing too is like Moses Mike Johnson.
Right.
If you really had that, like, and I was like, if you guys really met Keck, you will be shitting your pants. I know, because I did it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, that's why maybe logic is very important. I want to rework something that was in that poem and make it about the Chapel Perilous.
Ooh, that would be good.
It's about I think it was the paradox or something.
Oh, right. Oh, that was
Remember that
I
section?
like that bit about the paradox. Yes, the two things
Yeah.
existing, not to
Yeah.
conflict with each other, but to yeah. Oh, that'll
So
be
I'm gonna
good.
rework that as like this like how you make it out of the Chapel Perilous is with the maybe logic, right?
Oh.
And like I do think too, like, this is once again I'm telling you all my secrets, and the only reason I frustrate is because like I have to use words that I know that, like, if you're not a first poet or you're not
Yes.
a Mondo person, like, you're not gonna fully grok what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I just don't want, like, I don't know.
Yes.
You're gonna be misunderstood anyways, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of, because to me, like, once again, like, even, and I don't think it's a totally bad experience, but it's not like a lighthearted, fun experience that I'd like want to like shit post about.
Sure. Sure.
And like, even to that, it's like you know what we're talking about. It's like I don't even know how that happened, nor would I even want it to really happen again.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And and even to the problem of like, even years, like, even though that like, I have, like, that is like no longer something that's so powerful in my life anymore. But
Right.
there has been times where I have had totally irrational paranoia about that.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
being convinced that like I'm gonna fall asleep and I'm gonna have to like pay for something for some unseen sin by Keck.
Oh,
I don't know why.
wow.
I like, there's
Really,
several different
mate?
moments where I get like this irrational, like, freaking out to the point where I don't want to sleep, and then like that becomes another problem of like not sleeping. And so like, that kind of goes back to like doing the work and trying to find your own balance, and
Yes.
not going too much on either side of this coin,
That's hard, hey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Walking the straight path, walking the middle path. It's very hard.
Yeah. Walking on the edge of reality.
You see,
But
I managed to walk on both sides of the path and never actually get onto the path. Like, if you averaged me, it would show that I was on the path. But in reality, I'm either on that side or that.
And I think that's like the thing too, is like, when I'm like kind of like parsing out these words and saying about like when the people are taking something literally when it should be like poetically.
Yes,
like, that's my
yes.
only hesitation with like those words. It's like, I
Yes,
know
yes.
how I mean them. I just don't know, like, but that's like part of like what we need, like, and then not like this podcast or whatever is gonna forge the new reality or anything like that. But I do think part of this new stage is working out some of that stuff,
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
of
absolutely.
how, like, that's why I'm more comfortable and more confident in just saying it poetically and not like telling the people like, oh, here's the real story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you. Allow people to find their meaning, but protect yourself as well from, well, ignorance. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but there is a malevolent force that wishes to destroy good things, as we have seen in the last few weeks. And I mean,
and it's not, and like that's where like this like DMT assassin and Satori D not giving a fuck in the most beautiful way possible. Like, I do feel, in another way when we look back on like how we got here, what are we doing, and all that kind of stuff that we did recently. Yeah. Like, I do feel like I've uniquely been forged to be even like attempting at something like this. Like, like what we were just saying is like the internet is not, like, the people that are in control and are talking about the internet, and even Donald Trump, he's ruling by tweet before, and now he's even doing weirder shit. And so like there is some understanding of the internet, but Donald Trump doesn't know the fucking internet. Elon Musk don't know the internet.
No, they don't.
Zuckerberg don't know the internet. And like, it's not like even one person knows the internet. But that, like, just like, and I don't know, like the reality is even weirder and squishier. It always contains a maybe, because like it's partly true. Like, when I saw the kid, I go, oh, and I said it instantly, and it was kind of funny. It was like my first thing without like hearing anything else, and I told my mom, he's probably a groiper. And then my mom looks at me, and I go, oh God, I gotta explain to you what a groiper is.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So there was a great meme more. Let's start from the beginning.
Sit down, Mom. I have something to tell you.
It's like, all these things like that I thought like, oh my God, like, why do I know this stuff? Like, all of a sudden, like, come in handy. Like, especially too with like the, oh my God, I don't even want to do it because it's like such a fucking Leviathan. But Trump's crypto shit is like,
I
don't know, it's like the federal government started doing the Sam Bankman-Fried stuff. I don't know what to do.
I don't know, well,
but
something has to happen, because if there is a global collapse, what's going to catch us? If it's not crypto, what's there?
No, but
there's no gold to catch us.
No. See, what I don't understand, like, I understand because I've been in this space from the beginning.
Yes.
I understand, most of the mechanics and the theory of like the blockchain, what it does, how it even does socially, and all this kind of stuff. All my weird little knowledge that I have of it.
Yes.
And what I can't fathom, this is what I mean, like the government, right? The government, the federal government, who gets his power and who is doing a lot of stuff because of the dollar, right? Like, they're in control of it, the dollar failing or not failing or whatever. Like, it's within their control, and their actions and their strategies and policies that they're doing now are the ones that are going to determine if that dollar fails or doesn't fail, right?
Right.
And then these fools are like, whether they're doing it intentionally or not, are playing fast and loose with the dollar and the economy. And then they think, well, it's not going to really affect us because we're hedging our bets with our crypto, but we have a what is it a stable coin that's pegged to the dollar. So you're ensuring the value of your crypto with the dollar, you dipshit.
Yes. I
So
know.
if you crash that dollar,
You crash your stable
you
coin.
do your exchanges to cash out with your stable coin.
Yep.
Your stable coin won't be worth what you're saying.
I know. It's so bizarre. It's amazing to me how people make words. They make up a word, and then because they've made up a word, they say that thing exists.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, that's part of like the weird magic trick that they're doing. They're like,
Yes.
it's crypto, so like regular rules don't
That's
apply,
right.
and it's a really a magical thing. Like crypto.
Going to save us all.
Don't question it, crypto. And you're just like, but that's not how it works. Well, that's when I got mad at Elon. Like Elon makes his big announcement. This was before politics. He makes his big announcement that Tesla is gonna take payments in Bitcoin.
Right.
And then everybody's like, oh my God, this is what we need. And we're going to start building a real application for it. And like, I remember we're like, this is it. Like, we're dreams are coming true. Like, we're all going to, like, this is what we need. And then like he flip-flopped on that. And it looked like he pumped and dumped the market. And we were worse off than when he started. And we haven't like never got back to like that moment, and we're like so many years down the line, and we have nothing but like scam after scam. And there's people that have lots of money in this that do have the ability to make it real, and for whatever reason, maybe it's too hard or whatever, they don't seem to do it like be real about it.
I always wonder, when I was at school, I remember we, sitting around, and I can't remember which election it was, but some American election that had been in, and all the grown-ups were talking about how this new era, because of this new person and everything, and us kids were all like 12 or 14 sitting around at school discussing whether our parents knew anything. And I remember this one girl saying, things just happen. And there are people there when they happen. People don't make things happen. Things happen as they're going to happen, because like the first atom led to the second atom, led to the third atom, and there's this progression of,
But I think that's true. I think that's like the hardest thing for us to realize, that like, the reason why I have like an allergy to the word God, not like the concept of God, but like the word God. Because like the subtext, at least in this culture and this time, there's a subtext that God has like a personality, that he's like making decisions. And he's Santa Claus. Who's on my good list? Who's on my bad list? And of all my farthest out experiences, I can't fathom the ultimate thing being able to be collapsed into a personality. Because when I have my visions, like I have to like go beyond my own personality.
Absolutely.
Like the Moses moment wasn't about like words or like a mind in any traditional sense. It was about like weird, like what they're talking about, like, at the edge of our solar system, weird energy and dynamics and sound and flashing.
Weird
the raw energy. And like so like I think, like I remember one time having this argument with some religious person, and I go, if I rewrote this thing and took out consciousness and put in God, I almost guarantee you would love this. And like, just because I used consciousness, but I'm using it in almost the same way that you talk about God. And like, that's why like a lot of times too, I use cosmic love. Like, cosmic love is like what I'm like talking about God, but like, I don't want any of that other like preconceived shit to like leak in. Anyways, that's just like part of my
I completely agree with you. I've done that for 20 years. It's only in the last few years that I have come to this place where I'm like, I know the world has contaminated this word, God, but there is no other word. You know, I've tried all the different words to structure my experience around using different words. And in the last few years, I'm like, fuck it all. It's God. That's the word. Even though the concepts that have been attached to it are so distorted and...
The Tao that can be named is not the true eternal Tao.
You see that.
Like, once again, you go to every, like, human tradition.
Yes.
Like, okay, so, like, in the Western tradition, you go back to, like, Judaism, right? Yahweh.
Right. Yeah.
And there was different, just kind of like it is in Islam, like, there's different words that mean God, but you're not supposed to say the actual name of God.
Yes. Yes.
And so, like, they were playing games. Like, everybody thinks we're saying the word God, but, like, us real heads know that we're not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
They think Yahweh's God, but, you know. That's actually God's name. Like, if you do that, and then, like, you know, celestial lights go on.
Yeah, exactly. We need that. I think that the reason why God, for me, that word, is that was the word that I was familiar with when I was a very young child.
Yeah.
And later on, when you see, my whole thing with God has become very complicated because my grandmother died when I was about 7 or 8. And my father had a complete, like, nervous breakdown. He couldn't cope without his mother. He'd grown up in the Second World War, and his father had been away in Burma with the Royal Engineers for 10 years. And he came back after this war, and then they moved to Africa, and they had this whole life. And he had, he had a lot of issues. Right, from the war and everything. I've kind of forgotten what I was telling you now because I've got sidetracked. What was I telling you about?
He couldn't cope.
He couldn't cope, so my grandfather took him to church and said, come on, I know what you need. And then when he was about 60, he became ordained as a priest. So that was a very pivotal thing for him, going to church. And so we were all taken to church. And it was became very much part of my life that I needed to marry a Christian. This was how you protected yourself from all the evil in the world. Like, you choose one of the in-group, and that's the Christians. So I chose a Christian. And that was the guy that abused me, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, really? This is what Christians really are? But the interesting thing for me was that the Christians then that I married into didn't use the word God. They used the word the Lord. The Lord says this, the Lord says that. And I wonder if this kind of like return, for me, I'm kind of making a bit much of it, more than really it is, but this return to the word God is for me a sort of a seeking after that childhood innocence of just believing in an entity without having all these big fights about what that entity was, you know? Yeah. Just, it's a thing. And sometimes we seem to interact with it. Sometimes when we're awake, but sometimes when we're asleep.
I mean, well, that kind of like goes back to what we were talking about, you know, and that, like, see, like, those dynamics play no matter, like, the social situation. So, like, you know, we talked about a lot of different things, right? And that, like, just because something is branded or labeled something doesn't mean that it's actually that. And that, like, you actually, like, being and doing that, no matter what the label is like the actual thing, you know? Like, I could call myself a first poet, But if I don't produce any actual flower songs or poetry or anything, then like,
yeah,
okay, well, what is being a first poet, or what's being a bee shaman, or what's being
Indeed.
Satori D, if like I'm just saying it, but I'm not, like, you know,
yes,
for instance, like, you know, I'm MIA and, you know, whatever, but like when we come back, right, and we talk,
yes,
it not only continue on where we left off, but it's like has evolved, right? You know, remember we were talking about like gestation and like birth and stuff?
yes.
And like I'm like, oh, like I don't know, like whenever it's like ready to like, I used to tell you, like, I feel like I'm like the female, like I get it, I get an idea, then like no one wants to like carry it to birth, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like the male penguin, right? You know, lay the egg,
Yes, you
and then the
are.
girl goes away, and I'm like, fuck it, I guess I gotta like make sure this
My
egg
baby.
doesn't die.
Yeah.
And I just think around it, and then I'm like, I hope it hatches. I hope it hatches.
Yes.
And then hatches.
And then it
I'm like,
hatches.
oh, okay.
And then the mama comes back and visits you for a bit. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That
Thanks,
was so
Bob.
good. Thank you.
Oh, you know what I
Shorelines.
was thinking too, to help
Yes.
you better with your little like daily ritual of doing your live streams. Like
Yes.
that should be being weird on the internet.
Oh.
And like their theme song is being weird on the internet. Don't be weird, Bob Dub. And so like it's you like being
Okay.
weird on the internet.
That is, I love it.
So, like-
okay.
Weird kin. I am stitched with sideways lightning, pockets full of improbable keys. I walk where the map has coffee stains, where alleys turn into constellations if you tilt your head just so. Call it weirdness, but the old word is weird. The weave, the hush between threads where choices hum. I hear that hum. I hum back. The loom answers with people like meteors. We find each other by the shine of misfit edges, artists with ink under their fingernails, coders who debug reality, gardeners who plant hours and harvest songs, tricksters with pockets of honest laughter. Our names are knots on the same bright cord. We are joined not by sameness, but by the angle of our listening. How we lean towards the improbable, offer a hand to the untranslated, carry a pocket altar of why not. When the usual doors lock, we slip through the hinge. When the road splits, we lay a bridge of rumour and courage. When the signal breaks, we whistle the rest of the melody. They say 6 degrees. We fold the paper until 2 dots kiss. We write paths in the crease lines. We trade lanterns and passwords, teach the night its own alphabet. If I am weird, it is because I remember the thread and keep tugging. And when I tug, you answer. Your laugh like a match struck in a cave. Your yes echoing down the braid of time. We are weird kin, crossroads keepers, probability gardeners, friends who meet years before we meet. Not an accident, not an algorithm, a covenant with the unseen loom. So, take my hand, traveller of luminous detours. Let's braid our stray comments into a rope, swing across the gap with joy, and leave a glittering path behind us for the next brave oddity to follow.
Excellent. Excellent. We'll work on that. Chad. Circle. Excellent. Excellent. We'll work on that. Chad. Circle. This is the hardcore inner core. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? Excellent. You have to have congas or it's not metal.